What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Cinema Goodness Podcast. I'm Kaheem. This is JP. What's going on, JP?
Man, I'm good. What about you?
Doing good, man. Excited to get into this episode today, man. We talking about Stranger Things, Season 5, Volume 1, man. The first 4 episodes you may have seen on social media that we said we was going to do the first 1 and 2 episodes. But we went ahead and decided to do the whole Volume 1. Go ahead and knock it out the park, man. I'm excited for it, man. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. Let's get into this cinema goodness. Family, this is Kaheem.
And I'm JP.
And this is the Cinema Goodness Podcast, where we talk movies, all things related to Hollywood,
including your favorite genres and upcoming projects. Join us here for an unbiased and unfiltered discussion from our unique perspective.
So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. Let's get into the cinema goodness. Yes, sir, man. We back again with another episode, man. I'm excited, bro. Season 5 started off with a bang, brother. It was hectic, man. So let's start off with the synopsis, man. Get into it, and we'll start rolling, bro.
Absolutely. The season is set in November 1987, 18 months after the previous season, with Hawkins under military quarantine and a giant metal seam visible that holds the town together. The group is in the hunt for Vecna, including Hopper. They attempt to find Vecna by sending him into the Upside Down to hunt, and they call these crawls. Now, this Volume 1, Will is playing a pivotal role. Flashbacks from the very beginning reveal that Will was Vecna's first victim, not just because he was weak, but because he helped Vecna understand how to break and control children, who Vecna sees as the perfect vessels to reshape the world. Unfortunately, 11 has had to go back into hiding. The military is intensifying its hunt for 11. She and Hopper go to a government military base in the Upside Down, where they encounter a new doctor, Dr. K. Now, Dr. K believes that L11 is dangerous. We don't know why yet, though. Now, this season focuses on converging character storylines, including Will's feelings for Mike and the love triangle between Jonathan, Nancy, and Steve Harrington. And we are seeing some other important relationships between characters being stressed and strained by everything that they're going through.
Welcome back to Hawkins, everyone.
Exactly. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Hawkins, man. Somehow it's worse than last season, man. Which seems like impossible, bro, but it's bad, man. Season 5 said, what if we mix a government cover-up, psychic charmer missing kids, and a Demogorgon buffet, and then turn Will Byers into the MVP we've all been waiting for? All right, man, so I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
We dealt a lot with imaginary friends in this season. So if Vecna showed up as your imaginary childhood friend, what cursed name would he pick?
Now, he's showing up as Vecna and not Henry, right?
Well, he will show up, I guess, as Henry to be more appealing to you. He won't be frightening. He'll be like a friend, you know?
You know, it's interesting. As somebody who had imaginary friends as a kid, I don't know where I got the names from, but they seem to be important to me. I would think that maybe the name might be Clifford. As a kid, that was one of my favorite kids' books. Was Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Okay.
So he might be named Clifford because I had lots of books about probably every Clifford book that was at the time. So he might be Clifford, not Mr. Whatsit, because I didn't read that book. I didn't read Wrinkle in Time until much later.
Okay. Clifford,
what about you?
Cool. So my nickname is, like, my family, they call me Pooh, like Pooh Bear, because like when I was little they called me Pooh. So it'd probably be like Tigger. You know what I'm saying? Like Tigger would probably be, if somebody like Tigger, I'm like, oh, okay, we're friends. You know? But yeah, man, he had a nice little persona going, bro. And he worked it out really good, man. All right, man. So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I mean, he was very successful in reaching kids all throughout Hawkins.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, family. So again, if you're watching, thank you for watching, man. Go ahead, put that like button, man. Punch that like button. Let us know that you're here and answer this question, just like we did. If Vecna showed up as your imaginary childhood friend, which cursed name would he pick? Let us know in the comments, man. All right, let's get to episode 1, man. The Crawl. A look back. Flashback shows the young Will Byers trapped in the Upside Down in 1983, where he is first infected by Vecna, confirming their deep connection. Man, that scene was so nasty, bro. Because we saw it at the end of, I'm guessing, at the end of season, was that season 2 or season 1? Like how they found him in the library, like hooked up to the whole system, whatever. And like, but this time we got a chance to really look at it and see how nasty it was, bro. Will was hooked up to that thing. It was like pumping all that stuff in his stomach. The sound effects got even worse this year, man.
Oh yeah, they're building on. They're building. It gets better every season.
Yeah, man, for sure. A new normal. In the fall of 1987, Hawkins is a quarantine militarized zone. The Hawkins gang, including now dating Robin and Vicky, devises crawl missions for Hopper to search for Vecna in the Upside Down. Dustin, still grieving Eddie Munson, rest in peace Eddie, and he clashes with jocks at school. So the dope thing about Dustin, man, he's not afraid for nothing, man. He trying to get the Hellfire gang back together, and people looking at him like he all weird, but he wanna remember Eddie, man, and he wanna bring that whole D&D club back. And I think it's dope that he trying to do that, but some people don't like it. Hence the jocks.
You know what's interesting? I almost feel like he doesn't actually want to bring it back. I think he just wants to show that they can't break him. Because essentially, you know, they know the truth. They know that most of the town does not know the truth about what really happened and that Eddie didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. So this is like his stand. This is the hill that he has decided he will die on, come hell or high water. He's going to stand up for Eddie, who, you know, was a hero in the end. So I think that he's, even to his friends who would be part of Hellfire, even they're advising him that this is a fool's errand and that he should give it up. And, you know, not care what those people think. But he's not letting it go. So, you know, I don't know. I think that although his actions are a way to, like, an homage and honor to Eddie's sacrifice, at the same time, I think it is really creating a rift that we see. I mean, the rift is there. Like, Dustin, the death of Eddie has changed him.
For sure.
And I absolutely think that it's going to be a wedge. The further we get into this season, it's driving them apart. And, you know, this season is about relationships in a big way. That's maybe like a subplot to everything that's going on. His relationships and how they have changed because of Eddie's death is pivotal to what's happening here. So, man, it's a new Dustin.
Yeah,
it's not happy-go-lucky Dustin. It's not, you know, joking. It's he's a man on a mission.
Yeah, I don't like this Dustin, man. I gotta be honest.
Especially because his relationship with Steve Harrington was so cool.
Yeah.
And man, has it just blown up completely.
Yeah.
You think that because there was a scene in season 4 where Eddie tells Steve Harrington how much Dustin actually looks up to him. And maybe Steve took that for granted.
Yeah.
And so Eddie's dying. I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with how he has such a bad attitude towards Steve now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think he resents him?
I think so. I think it is resentment because Eddie actually became a hero.
Yeah.
And gave his life. And what has Steve done? But he's looked up to Steve. So maybe he has resentment that Steve is still here. And the real heroic person, the person who's been the most heroic to the point of giving their life, is gone.
Yeah. It's a good point, man.
Now, let me ask this question to you because we just said welcome back to Hawkins. For those of you that have been recapping with us, at the end of season 4, when Max's death, although it was a temporary death, it was the 4th death, and it was enough to rip open the divide between the Upside Down and the real world Hawkins. You saw the death of the Upside Down eating up the plants and, this belching of the ash up into the sky.
Right.
When we get to the beginning of season 5, it's very jarring that everything seems relatively calm.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what happened.
That's interesting. I'm thinking maybe like a volcano, when a volcano first erupts, like the ash and stuff goes everywhere, but after it calms down, but it's still kind of like active volcano stuff going on. So maybe like the initial explosion of everything caused the ash and all the tremors and stuff, but after that first initial seismic thing, whatever, everything else, like it just started dying down until we get to the point to where it did, kind of like in episode 4, where it kind of like, gates are opening up everywhere and stuff like that. Now it's starting to change. Maybe like in the second half, like volume 2, that's kind of where we're gonna see like the right side up start to be affected too. Maybe.
Absolutely. I'm curious because the show loves to do flashbacks, and we get moments where we go back in time, and they do this quite often to very good effect. So I would like to see that because it would seem to me that if there is an opening between the Upside Down and the real world, you would see some of the demo bats come through and attack people. You would see some Demogorgons come through in addition to that. And so not seeing that, it felt like it was about to be a war, like when that ripped open. The real world versus the Upside Down, and to come back and it's like, oh, we put a patch on it, and then now they did show us that a lot of the people left Hawkins, and then those that decided to stay are in the quarantine. So I get that, but I felt like there was like a disconnect because I was, how something ends on a high point and then there's a cliffhanger, and then when you come back into it, you're wanting to get back right to that same action. Yeah, and that's what I was expecting. And so when we got into Hunky Dory, we're on the radio now, and it's been 20 months. I'm like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of missed time in between.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we get that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Vecna returns. Will experiences a powerful vision, sensing a Demogorgon attack in the Upside Down. The creature breaches a new gate in the Wheeler's house and snatches Holly Wheeler. 11 and Hopper pursue Holly in the Upside Down, and Karen Wheeler witnesses a terrifying attack firsthand, putting her and her husband in the hospital.
Let me tell you something. This was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were dead.
Yeah, I thought they were too.
I was like, oh my God. Because you know what the Demogorgons can do.
Mm-hmm.
And so they set us up to knock us down with this because we were like, oh my God, these people are about to die. They're about to be eviscerated and killed. And they were very severely wounded. But we understand why it wasn't as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
We get that later on.
Yeah. Episode 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. A family in crisis. Mike and Nancy visit their injured mother, Karen, who reveals Holly's imaginary friend, Mr. Whatsit, who is actually Henry, a.k.a. Vecna. Karen says he has a pocket watch, and Mike and Nancy realize it's a reference to Vecna's history as Henry Krill. That was very clever. Uncertain ally. Will and Robin sneak off to investigate the spot of Will's vision, finding clues that more children might be targeted. Meanwhile, in the Upside Down, Eleven and Hopper discover a massive impenetrable psychic wall protecting Vecna's lair. The stakes increase. Vecna takes Holly to a restored Krill house within his mental prison, offering to save her family and friends. Lucas confides in Max, still in a coma, while Mike and Nancy formulate a plan to find Holly. So this whole episode went by kind of fast. But I did like the fact that they introduced that wall, because it's like another layer of like something's going on. Like it's not just, you can't just go into the Upside Down like before. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like when episode season 4 ended, that whole thing happened, like the earthquake or whatever. Now we see what's behind it. Like they got a big wall. Vecna is planning something. We can't even see what it is. It kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, that big wall from Game of Thrones when I saw it. But yeah, that wall was like a little aha.
And plus, now with the wall, there's a little bit of orienting you have to figure out, because we come to find out also that the military has built a base in the Upside Down.
Right.
So the question is, with this wall, where is the base in comparison to the wall? I don't think I fully understood that until we got to the end of the volume.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, in volume 1, we do not get a chance to see inside of the wall. Everything we see in the Upside Down is outside the wall. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Now, am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you're right. Everything we see outside the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. So even when the Demogorgons are opening, we see them opening portals, and I forget the right term. But as they open them, gates, there you go. Every time they open a gate, and now because they're so close, they're just opening the gates easily, because, I know, of course, this is part of Vecna's learning from Will, is how to get into the real world. So they're able to open gates at will now. Yeah. But when they do that and they go in, they're able to go into the regular Upside Down, and then somehow they get into the wall, but no one else has gotten through that wall.
Yeah.
We know there's some hell behind that wall.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That wall is some hell. It's some hell behind that wall.
Yeah. Oh. Episode 3, The Turbo Trap. Hopper and 11 are ambushed by the military in the Upside Down, learning that Dr. K has a device that can paralyze 11. They call it her kryptonite. They capture one of the soldiers and discover the military is holding a powerful individual in a vault within their base. So when they who do you think it was? Who do you think it was when they said a powerful individual?
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some wild. I'm gonna have a wild theory. I'm gonna plant it right here.
Okay.
I didn't know who it was. I had a feeling that it was her sister from the previous episode
Okay.
because my brain always goes to that as like, what the heck? And when 11 was like, it's got to be another powerful individual like me, and then they thought it was them thinking it was Vecna was dumb. That was dumb.
Yeah.
It made no sense. Now, I know that they were not fully in communication with everyone, but 11 knew that Holly had been kidnapped and that Vecna was behind it. So them jumping to the conclusion that they have control of Vecna didn't make sense to me.
Right.
So to me, I never believed Vecna was in there. Okay. Now, who it could have been, the sister came up, but they kept giving us flashbacks of Hopper's daughter.
Okay.
And there's just something in my mind that makes me think that Hopper's daughter could possibly not be dead.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know why, it's in my brain. But when I thought about when this came to me, I said, you know what? When they stole 11, they made it seem like 11 had died. They told her parents that she had died. Mm-hmm. They said that she was stillborn.
Right.
And we keep seeing, even in this is not the first time we're seeing flashbacks of his daughter. So it's in there. It's a crazy theory, but I thought it might be his daughter in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it might be.
Yeah. I was on her sister because I'm like, there's no way that we saw her once and they made kind of like a big deal about her and then we never saw her again. So I kind of had a feeling that she was gonna pop up somewhere in this season. So that's kind of where my mind was. So, or it was just gonna be somebody that we never met before. You know, like it was just gonna be some random person that could kind of help. But you know, I was close, you know, with the sister. So I was like, all right.
I'm glad it wasn't a random person. There are so many people. This cast is humongous. We have added new people every season. Good gosh.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton is already enough. When I saw,
Sarah Connor, man. Oh
yeah. I'm like,
you're not supposed to be this bad guy. You gotta save the world, man.
And here's the thing. I'm not sure she's the bad guy completely yet.
Yeah.
Her motives are not clear.
Yeah.
She wants 11. Yes, she believes 11 is dangerous. But there's something about when we're going to get to this, but there's something about her character that makes me think she could be a double agent, and we haven't been let in on it yet. Okay. Here I am with another theory.
A double agent? Okay.
I think she could be a double agent because, yes, she's hardcore. Every time they come to talk to her and they have a negative report that they haven't caught 11, she's pissed.
Yeah.
To the heights of festivity. She's upset. She don't want to hear nothing else. Get out until you have told me that you have caught her. But at the same time, it's like there's something in the background that makes me think, I don't think that she really wants to do harm. I don't know.
You think she's like the doctor? You think she's like the doctor, like Dr. Brenner, like wants to do good, but's willing to like bend the lines to do it?
Not like Dr. Brenner, more like Dr. Owens.
Okay.
Because Dr. Owens did some bad things, but he never hurt her, on purpose.
Right.
So, and honestly, I don't know. She could end up being more like Dr. Brenner, but I feel like something about when she actually finally saw 11, that there wasn't a hatred I don't know. It's on my back burner in my mind. I might be wrong.
Hey, man.
But I think she might be a double agent.
Yeah. You'll never be really too far off with your predictions, man. So I'm excited to see that, man. But thanks.
What about the daughter, though?
Which who?
What about the daughter, though?
Daughter?
Talking about a flip your wig moment. If Hopper's daughter is alive.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're talking about Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1, man. So if you got any more comments about it while we're going through this, let us know. Put it down in the comments. We'll be sure to check it out, man. Engage with us. Punch that like button. Hit that subscribe button. All that good stuff, man. We're continuing to the plan. The Hawkins crew enlists Erica to help drug and kidnap another one of Vecna's targets, Derek Turnbow, to use him as bait. They're trapped at the Turnbow house. The Turnbow house successfully implants a tracker in a Demogorgon. That scene was hilarious. I told you, eat your damn pie. Yo, Erica is hilarious, man. I love her character. I love how she's evolving, bro. She's getting funnier every season. Like, it's just, whoever writing her, bro, they on point, man. Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
She's still, like, I'm gonna keep saying that she steals every scene she's in.
Yeah, man.
But you know what I love that season 5 did? She was humbled totally when they told her, you always talk about nerds, but you are a nerd. That happened in season 4, I believe. In season 5, Erica has fully embraced her nerdhood, or her blurredhood as a black nerd. And she's not ashamed. She's still got all her quick wit, but she's one of the smartest people on the crew. I love it.
And the funniest, man.
And she's giving that science teacher, man, he don't even want to answer. She don't know with her hand up.
Oh, man. Max's location. Following instructions from Mr. Whatsit, Holly ventures into the woods and finds Max, who has been trapped in Vecna's mental prison since her coma. Max reveals a specific area of the prison is off limits to Vecna. It's a cave. A brewing storm. Will and Robin discover that more children are being targeted by Vecna, who is using their children to create new gates. The Demogorgon, now carrying a tracker, changes course for the barn where Derek is being held. This episode is pure chaos. Home Alone meets Demogorgon survival. Oh,
yeah, I love the Turnbow trap. It's awesome. The first of all, when the Turnbows wake up and get back to their house, they're gonna be mad as hell because they literally cut a giant hole in their floor. I'm like, dog, these people's house is tore down almost.
You drug me and you destroyed my shit,
right?
Somebody got to pay. Somebody got to pay. But yeah, that seems hilarious, bro. Episode 4. The Sorcerer. New powers emerge. Joyce and Will are captured while trying to rescue children being held at the military upside-down entry point when a swarm of Demogorgons attack. Will's latent psychic abilities activate, allowing him to destroy creatures and protect his friends. Will turned up, man. He went Super Saiyan on them hoes. He turned up, man.
Yeah, let me tell you, and this, because I kind of have to talk about episode 3 and 4 together.
Okay.
The Turnbow trap, when the Demogorgon changes direction and then comes to the barn where they are. Okay. That is where, because they've been giving us breadcrumbs. We've been getting breadcrumbs from the beginning. The 5-minute first 5 minutes of the season gave us this whole idea that essentially Volume 1 has been insinuating that Will has been essentially on the side of Vecna this whole time.
Right.
And they have tried to make it seem like that very first episode made it seem like, well, dang, it'd be your own people, because we've been thinking Will was innocent. They exorcised the dark particles out of him. Yeah. And now we thought maybe he just had a little bit of connection, but it turns out he might be a secret agent or double agent himself, or Vecna. Right. And then for every attack, especially when we get to that turnboat trap, we see through the eyes, through Will's eyes, through the eyes of the Demogorgon, even though they don't have eyes. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, and we see him when Joyce takes the axe. You know, Joyce is superwoman in her mind. She's so brave, and she's swinging that axe at that Demogorgon, and we can see Will. What they've been hinting at. Now we're seeing the Demogorgon is backing up. So they don't make it. It's like the hint is there, but you haven't completely confirmed it yet. Yeah. Because it's like, how is Joyce really fending off a Demogorgon? Like,
right.
For real.
Yeah, he definitely was backing up until, like, usually the Demogorgon, he going forward, he charging, he slashing whoever, eating whatever in his way. But this time, you're right, they started to leave those breadcrumbs. Like the Demogorgons was acting different when they got around certain people. And you start to see that and start to notice, like, as you can see through the eyes or whatever, like, Will, like, something's going on here. And then, you know, Mike ends up telling him, hey, man, maybe such and such and such, like, maybe you can kind of control it. Maybe you can do certain things, you know, and it was just, ooh, got him thinking, man. Got him thinking.
Well, you know, I think it's a combination of Will's speech, but it's also a combination. You know, the show has been touching on this issue with Will having feelings for Mike, and Will not knowing how to deal with it, and so he sees Robin, and he happens to see her kissing her girlfriend, and when he finally admits that he saw that. And they have a chance to open up to each other, it's at that point that you see that the words that she said to him about being himself and about not being afraid and accepting himself for who he is helps him to understand that what he's been experiencing is that he is absolutely connected to the hive mind and can control it. And when it gets to that point where literally he can see, it's like picture in picture. He can see all of his friends about to die simultaneously. He's already noticed that he was able to pull back. He wouldn't admit it. He was probably telling himself, no, I didn't do that. I didn't keep the Demogorgon from killing Joyce. It just got scared and they ran over it. But when he's in that moment, he's hearing Mike's thoughts. He's hearing Robin's, encouragement, and he realizes I can take control of this. And plus, let me say this as well. This is right after the all-out attack on the magazine by the Demogorgons.
Right.
And after they were able to use the fire and subdue the Demogorgons almost, Vecna, Big Bo comes on the scene and he literally just tears everything to shreds. He's totally in control. He's a power play. But what he says to Will is like, he's punking him. He's like, I used you to figure all of this out. It's because of you that I was able to do this. And you helped me to understand how to do it. So with Will, totally. It's like, Will is like, oh my gosh, he's right. But that stung. Yeah. That stung. And when he had that sting plus all those encouraging words, he was like, I'm gonna accept who I am and I'm gonna take control. Yeah. And that is, when I tell you, the coolest moment when we get to see, Will.
I got you.
You got me? Oh, okay. Yeah. When we get to see Will take those powers, and oh my God, it was, the hair on the back of my neck. Not Will's neck, my neck. I watched that episode twice.
Yeah. It's this shot right here, man. It's that shot, bro. I'm like, oh.
That's the one that's about to kill Mike.
Go hard, right? Got him, man. But yeah, bro.
But how about this? He added to it because there was one that was about to kill Lucas.
Yeah.
He was able to see that one.
Yeah.
And so he got his other arm out. He's got two arms out. He only got two arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when he sees one that's about to kill Robin and Murray, so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that one with my neck," and he
with my neck too. Yeah, man.
That scene was crazy.
Snapped them up, man. Did y'all see that scene, bro? Did y'all see how hard Mike went, bro? All this time with Mike, Will being like a victim and being like everybody, zombie boy, being a punk, all of this stuff. Like he finally had a chance to come out of that shell, bro, and do damage. And he came out and did damage in a great way, bro. Now he's on par with 11. Like everybody looking for 11 to be the superhero. Now it's kind of like, will she be the hero? Or like, will come through? You know what I'm saying? At the end and make the big decision. Oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Now, it's man.
Great writing, man. Great writing.
It is excellent writing, and I mean the story that they're weaving together is awesome. Now, I'm going to ask you a question about this because this is one of my questions. You just said you felt like he might be on par with 11.
Mm-hmm.
Man, one side of me says, how can he be on par with 11? Because 11 has had her powers for so long. She's been using her powers for so long. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, Will has actually been exposed to Vecna, and whatever that goop was that he put into Will through that pipe, through that nasty thing that we saw in the very first episode of season 5, whatever that was, that's what gave him his powers.
Yeah.
So even though he hasn't been able to fully control them, he's actually had his powers the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why he's been able to feel all of the things that he's been able to feel and been able to kind of, be a mage for the group as they kind of went through all of these different obstacles. So although he has not been using his powers, he's had them. I'm not going to put him on the level of L because I feel like even L is at a disadvantage right now. But here's the deal. He took, 10 kids?
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to turn all of them and give them as much power as maybe Will has?
Will was the first, man. I don't know. He's like the number one of the Upside Down, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
That's why I said I feel like he's on par with L because he snapped them Demogorgons. Like it was like 3, and they wasn't even around each other. You know what I'm saying? They was just all connected in a hive mind. And it was just, I don't know, man. I think there's like a spark of his power. I don't think we've seen like the full extent. It's kind of like him starting to learn what he can do instead of like him knowing what he can do and how far to push it. Kind of like how L moved that big train in season 3 or I can't remember.
3.
It was 3 years. She moved that big train. Like her sister was kind of helping her find the extent of her power. I think Will is kind of like the same way. Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm putting him too much up there, but I think he's strong with it, bro.
I think I agree with man. I don't know. That's what I said. I'm on both sides. I don't know. And then the question is, how much strength will Vecna be able to give those kids now that he will both be able to control them and imbue them with power? My other issue is Will still vulnerable to being taken over by Vecna?
Yeah.
Because if he grows his powers, but then just becomes an extension of Vecna, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because now you got Will with powers and Vecna with powers, and potentially all those other children with powers, and the only other powered person you have is L. Which, here's the deal. I think it's going to end up being L. I think it's going to end up being her sister. And Will going up against Vecna and all of his acolytes, all those kids. That's
So
what it will likely end up being.
I'm glad you said something about that, man. But because remember that episode, The Spy, when Will thought he was doing something good, he had a feeling like he was trying to do something good, but it turned around like Vecna was like working it out to work against everybody. It could be like that. You know what I'm saying? Will got
That's what I'm worried about.
People think like it's gonna help them, but at the end, like Vecna gonna spin it, and like it will end up turning on the crew or something. Like, oh, man, so many possibilities.
At the most, crucial moment, right? The height of a battle.
Yeah.
And so who knows what will happen there? That's the question that I had about, what this will be. I don't really want to go into this because I don't have a lot of information on it, but there's something that I had noticed, and hopefully this season will help us understand it better, because we've got the Upside Down as a place. We've got Hawkins. But when they go into, for example, where Max is actually inside Vecna's mind.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Okay, and so all of the places that they're seeing, for example, where the house where Holly is, that's also in Vecna's mind.
Yeah.
So that's all in Vecna's mind world. Okay. Yeah. When the place that Will sees that Vecna didn't want him to see, where all the spires are, where he was seeing where the children are going to end up being, where the house, if you remember when the house was all exploded in
season and different fragments,
when it was all that location. My question is that Vecna's mind as well? I believe that's Vecna's mind, but then here's a step further. When we first get the reveal of Henry being Vecna, when Elle opens that first gate and pushes him through, we're not in Vecna's mind when he's in this world that humans haven't been in. It's another dimension, right? So the question is that dimension the Upside Down?
I know what you're saying. I think where Max and Holly are, that's in Vecna's mind, right?
Okay.
But the red place where the house was, all of that's in Vecna's mind, like you said. So all of that stuff that we're seeing in the final episode, I don't think with Holly and Max, all of them, they're in Vecna's mind because they're hooked up to the spires. When they're hooked up, because when Will saw like the Demogorgon running back through the Upside Down, he saw the kids hooked up to the spires or whatever. I'm thinking Vecna can control their mind because they're hooked up to the spires. Like if they become disconnected from that, they're going to wake up inside the Upside Down, connected to the thing. But while they're connected to the spires and that thing hooked up to their mouth, all of that, Vecna can kind of control what the kids see. You know what I'm saying? And that means the house, when Max was in that coma and she was running through the red place trying to get back home or whatever, she could kind of see that window into the hospital. That's in Vecna's mind. But I think because Max stuck because of the coma, she's stuck in Vecna's mind. So what we're seeing with Holly and Max, that's all in their mind. That's all in their head. That's all in Vecna's mind. Where Hopper and all of them, that's the Upside Down, which we know. But it's a distinction between where Holly and Max are, and then where the Upside Down is. Like Holly's in the Upside Down, but she's hooked up. That's why Vecna can kind of control what she sees. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Here's my question. When Henry was sent into the other dimension where the Demogorgons live, at that point there was no Upside Down.
Okay.
I don't believe that there was.
Okay.
I believe that the Upside Down was created when he took Will. Because if you remember, the upside down is frozen in time to the moment that Will was taken.
Right.
So, and I think that I'm really hoping we will get some clarity on this, because there's different things we're going through, and you have to kind of keep it straight in your mind, because a lot of the places that are all in Vecna's mind, they can look like anything.
Yeah.
But when Henry first was taken into the other dimension where he saw the shadow, there was no Hawkins there. There was just the shadow. You saw Demogorgons there. So that's the other dimension. Okay. And then when he finally figures out a way to get from his dimension into the real world, it's through Will. So when he takes Will, that creates the upside down, which is the flip side of Hawkins, which is, I guess I would assume, is essentially is in that other dimension. And here's what I'm trying to figure out: is the upside down in Vecna's mind, or is it an actual place?
Okay. So we got a comment. Michael Drescher. I hope I said that right. Michael Drescher. He said, yes, there was. The play of Stranger Things talks about this. So I'm assuming what he's saying, that there was an upside down already. Okay. He said actual place.
Okay. So here's where I am on that. Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to get into that because I haven't seen the play, but I saw some stuff about it online, and I was like, oh, I'm hoping that you don't have to have seen that play to understand what's going to happen at the end of season 5, because that would suck. That's just my opinion. I know that the other dimension is called Dimension X, but I'm hoping that it's not a situation where we have to have known what happened in that play. So I heard about that, and I was like, I want to see it on the screen. I want to be able to watch it, and without having seen that play, know fully exactly what happened and what's going on. So maybe this section of this was made into Hawkins when Will was taken. Or is it possible that Will created this version of the upside down that has Hawkins in it? So that would make sense too.
Mike chiming in, man. He said Henry was the first Will. So I'm guessing Henry was the first Will of the upside down. And then Henry brought Will into the upside down. And
this goes back to a question I asked in the last episode. Is there another big bad other than Vecna?
Okay. So, okay, the shadow part. Okay, remember, we going back, bro. Remember when, like you said, L pushes Henry through the gate. He goes through the gate. His body's doing all the things.
Yes.
You know, and then he gets there and he sees like the Demogorgons walking, right? And then he sees the shadow. He forms a shadow into the Mind Flayer spider thing. You know what I'm saying? So, Mind Flayer controls Vecna. Okay. But he shaped the shadow into the Mind Flayer, though. You know what I'm saying?
But do we know that he shaped it, though?
He said he used his power to shape it because he likes spiders. Remember, spiders was his thing.
That's true. He was obsessed with spiders. He
shaped the shadow into the shape of something that he understood, which was spiders. So maybe once he shaped the thing, it kind of latched itself onto Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like they became one at that point. When he started manipulating the shadow, they became a part of each other. And that's kind of like how everything, because Henry is from Hawkins, you know, because he had the house there. So maybe because of when the Henry formed the shadow, it saw something in his mind and it became a place he's familiar with, which was Hawkins. You know, so maybe that's kind of like how it all I don't know, man. We still in volume 1, man. I'm sure they're gonna have enough. The run times on this thing is so crazy, man. They're an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. The season finale is like 2 hours, bro. I'm sure it's a lot in there that we're gonna have a better, clearer picture of what happened, what really happened. I think, before all of this is said and done.
And thank you so much. I really appreciate you chiming in.
Yes, sir.
Because it's helping our conversation a whole lot. And there's some more that I would go into. That cave that Henry doesn't want to go into. It has to do with something that happened in his childhood. His family was not originally from Hawkins, according to the play. Now, I don't know if the show is going to keep that and consider that as canon, but he has a very negative memory associated with the cave that became Max's sanctuary, where she's safe from him. So I don't know, man. I know that sometimes with shows like this, we know the show's coming to an end, but there are going to be some spinoffs, I think. I'm hoping. Duffer Brothers, please don't leave us with too many unanswered questions. I know the interest of money will say create a new show out of an unanswered question, but with as much runtime as they have, I want us to have a good understanding at the end of this, because I think they're knocking it out the park thus far.
Oh yeah, they're doing the thing. All right, man. Let's finish up, man. Okay. Vecna's army. The crew discovers Vecna needs 12 children for his plan. Will taps into the hive mind again, confirming that Vecna is alive and planning to create an army. A shocking discovery. 11 and Hopper infiltrate the military base and discover that the prisoner isn't Vecna, but Kali, 11's sister from season 2. Kali is trapped by a device designed to neutralize powers like theirs. A catastrophic ending. Vecna frees himself and kills military forces, taunting Will before disappearing with the children. Episode concludes with the newly empowered Will and the gang facing a more powerful Vecna, setting the stage for a final showdown. Final notes. Will has finally controlled his power. Vecna escapes with kidnapped children, and this sets the stage for ultimate showdown. Will Byers went from upside down victim to full on sorcerer. Character development is supreme.
And let me take a moment and recognize that Vecna has had a glow up in his 18 months. He's gone through a transformation. I mean, I'm halfway expecting a before and after, because first of all, he looks like Ultron. I mean, did you notice? He looks like Ultron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
His design is very Ultron inspired. The CGI around his midsection, it doesn't look like a man in a suit anymore. I mean, looks like he's articulated and just made out of all of the roots, and so cool. He's had an awesome glow up. His powers have increased big time as well. So I mean, I have to give him props. Vecna has had a major power increase and glow up on the screen. I'm excited to see that. It raises the stakes for this finale.
Vecna had the stomach of Jim Carrey, Grinch belly.
Absolutely, he absolutely did. That is hilarious that you said that, because that's true.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it in my mind. I'm seeing both of them. If I can pull up a picture, literally, that's what they both look like.
That's funny. All right, man. Let's see. Callbacks. Season 1 callback. Missing poster phone number actually works. They said if you call the number on one of the posters, actually is a phone number to Hawkins police department, which was funny. I didn't call the number, but we may have to do that. Levis has a Goonies inspired outfit.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Turbo House Traps equals Nightmare on Elm Street homage.
Mm-hmm. And Home Alone.
And Dustin is wearing Eddie's ring and Hellfire t-shirt. Robin and C work at the radio station. And 11th identity is tested again. Trauma as Vecna's weapon. We know that he's seeking out victims through their trauma. He can actually find them and manipulate their trauma to actually benefit his needs. And Hawkins becomes an epicenter for a potential apocalypse. The whole season echoes back to where it all started.
It's a couple of things I'll add to that. Robin, as a radio host, it's giving Robin Williams. And how about Murray has turned into Yuri?
Yeah.
now he's a smuggler.
Yeah, he is a smuggler.
Okay, Murray, you're doing your American version of the Yuri smuggling job. Hilarious.
Yeah. Funny. All right, man. Closing segment. MVP of Volume 1 is who you think?
Gotta be Will.
Will Byers finally unleashed. The most metal moment. Will crackling the Demogorgons.
Vecna style. I mean, neck broken, arms twisted. I mean, I that was great. Talking about hair raising, awesome. Yeah. By the way, you know that Elle also breaks people's necks with like a head twist too.
Yeah,
she did it in this episode.
Yeah, real easy. when she jumped on the roof, and then the guy caught it here. It's so easy for her now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Most tears. Karen Wheeler trying to protect Holly.
Oh.
Most punchable. Dr. K.
You know what though? I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Okay. Okay. You still don't think she's the villain?
I don't know. Her motives to me are not clear. It's not clear. I don't know what it's gonna be. She could just be the representation of any evil government entity. But I'm not sure just yet on her.
Okay.
Here's what I would say. The most punchable for me, Jonathan and Steve Harrington. I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah, true.
And especially, first of all, Jonathan had already gone downhill at the end of season 4 because none of his, first of all, Argyle was dragging his whole arc in season 4. Argyle was dragging him along to make Jonathan even bearable because he was a whiny dopehead most of that season. But for this season, now that Dustin is on the outs with Steve, man, the whole dynamic is off because they aren't getting along, and then you got Steve fighting with Jonathan, who has a secret engagement ring, which I don't think that Nancy Wheeler will say yes now.
Oh yeah, there's too much stuff going on. It's too much.
First of all,
it's too much.
What are you doing with this tape deck ring? Man, please. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And first of all, if you were at a position to be proposing to Nancy Wheeler, why are you still walking around competing with Steve Harrington?
Right.
It makes no sense. Nancy should say no and tell both of them to grow up.
Yeah, for sure. Cinematic gold. Vecna tearing through the military base like tissue paper.
The Demogorgon attacks, that sequence.
Favorite scene?
Chef's kiss.
What was your favorite
Them
moment?
hitting those metal panels until they popped up. I was like, oh, y'all about to die. Real.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Somebody's gonna get ripped in half in a few seconds.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, man. That's it, family. Thank you for watching, man. We knocked out Volume 1 of Stranger Things Season 5, man. If you haven't watched it, you still got time to catch up. We spoiled everything, but it's still great to watch, man. It really is. It's a great season. What would you give us? What would you give it so far?
I'm giving it an 8 so far. I still have some questions. that need answers, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, Will got that power, man. I'm at a 9, brother. That was it for me. That was a. If he didn't get their powers, it would have been like an 8, 7.5, 8. It was still good, but him getting them powers, it kind of tipped the scales, man. It's like, oh, okay, we working with something, man. You got.
I would be there with you, but I still have a question about how he's so powerful at an instant.
Yeah.
Knowing how much of a struggle building power has been for L. So if I could, I would be right there with you. But because I have some questions about that, which I hope that they will answer and give us a little bit of background, especially with so much time left. If we get those answers, it's definitely going to bump it up for me. But I'm at an 8 right now, just because I've got some unknowns that I'm a little iffy about.
That's perfect, man. Perfect, man. If y'all did watch season 5 of Stranger Things, let us know your rating in the comments, man. We'd love to hear from y'all. If y'all want us to review anything else, if you have any more thoughts upon watching this that you want to put in the comments, put it in the comments. We'll check it out, man. Love to hear from y'all. Thank you for our engagement today. We had a few people chime in, watching. I could see the numbers. We had a few people tip in and check us out, man. Sure do appreciate it. Anything else, JP?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas because of Christmas.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be watching Volume 2 Christmas night.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving. Ours was great, man. Family time was great. We ain't really getting into all of that stuff, but yeah, man. Beautiful time. Holidays, man. Spend it with your family and friends. People you love. And until next time, you have a light that is out of this world. Let it shine to be the richness that this world deserves. Much love, family. Being rich.
Peace.